Hey everybody, welcome to a live stream. It has been a while. It has definitely been a while, a month, in fact. And yeah, it's been very interesting. If you're in New Zealand, you know that we've just gone into another sort of lockdown combo, and so once again things get rejuggled. But if you're overseas, then you've been dealing with that a lot more and a whole lot longer than we have. Anyway, I think I'm just going to kind of like say hi if you're on, and we'll catch up in the chat and things. But I've been experimenting with a little tune, so I'm going to play around with it as people appear. Oh, hey brother, how's it going? All is well. To be honest, I did a speed pack up to escape Auckland in the hope of a little bit more freedom out of Auckland. So I will still hopefully be playing some shows, but it's interesting. It's a fun game at the moment, eh? I've gone like EDM tonight. I think is where we're gonna head to. Let's see. Who knows? It could be a mystery. But yeah, I'm good. I feel grateful that I didn't have a gig Saturday night, so I genuinely got the announcement, could load all my gear into the car, and fortunately have friends in Cambridge that I've come to hang out with and taking over their lounge tonight to do a live stream and maybe play some tunes. This is a little experiment. Hey George, this is a little experiment, something I've been writing, just playing around with, because it's fun looping and doing different things. Otherwise, I'll just be here jamming out random tunes. Oh, that's nice, man. It's nice to be back. I do miss it. I'll remember how to play soon too. This is my like intro music for the night. Oh yeah, we're gonna just like hang out, have some little jams. Nice to see you, Rick. Good to see you, man. Honestly, it's nice to be back doing some, I don't know, doing an Ask Me Anything Tuesday session, playing some tunes, setting up and making everything live, and saying hi. It's really cool. Yeah, it has been a while. I changed things to monthly because it just genuinely became a lot, getting myself sorted to set up between shows and packing up shows, I guess. Like packing up all my gear, loading the car. You guys all understand what it's like when you've got busy weeks of shows, which I was fortunate enough to do for a while New Zealand wasn't in lockdown, which was very nice. It has been very, very cool to play and do that. But yeah, as you'll notice on the channel, I haven't been uploading many videos. I've been practicing a bunch with Shimna, planning for a tour, which fingers crossed that'll works and pans out for May, and yeah, to be honest, I've been moving around a lot. If you followed it, you will laugh because 2 weeks ago, I just got into a place in Auckland, moved in, awesome, got a pad again, great. The night of going into a short lockdown, and then I kind of settled in there for 2 weeks, and then last night I had to pack everything up and leave Auckland to have any chance of kind of doing music and getting out and doing things. I don't know if you know, but one city has a higher lockdown level than others. So yeah, George, the PRS is a new guitar from late last year. It's been on the cards for a while that I've needed a different beast for looping, and this is it. It's called Squirrel, in case you're wondering. So yeah, there's a couple of things that I really it's so different. Like buying a new guitar when you've been on one guitar that you love for so long was a very weird process. Because I sat down and I played this, and I hooked into the RC300, which is what I'm running, and I played around and I loved it. I just played for ages. But the sound is very different from my Takamine. And so it was kind of like, I knew I really liked it, but it was also just very odd. Like going to this different guitar and being like, okay, it feels different. It sounds different, and with that, I think I play slightly differently. We think we all do, to be honest. When we have a different tone, a different sound, we tend to just favor certain things. So yeah, this is the new setup, and I have been waiting on. I think from the channel update I did, I've been running essentially 2 pedal boards. And as the light fades here today, the one thing I forgot when I packed up and rushed out of Auckland was my adapter to be able to plug my camera in and run things. But I think we'll be good. We'll have some sunshine somehow. And I mean, worst case scenario, you can see me, you can hear me. So if you've got questions and things like that, we can dive into things. But yeah, I forgot to put that in the mix of stashing stuff in the car. So it's back to trying to light things as best I can, so you can see me with a laptop screen, which currently it's still light outside, so we should be good. And then as the night goes on, I may just get darker and darker, but that's okay. We'll roll with it. So but yeah, currently just in the process of hopefully tomorrow putting everything on one pedal board, the RC300, with all the control pedals that I'm running and a mic switcher, just all on one board, all together. It's going to be a bit of a beast, but it just saves another whole series of setup time every show, turning up and and plugging in the guitar, then back into the RC300 and out, and then plugging in the control pedal number 1, pedal number 2, the mic switches. So all purely for simplicity of transport and ease of shows and having things set up. It obviously works very well right now, and I'm very much enjoying the RC300. The funny thing, for those of you, I don't know who of you are on the Voice Live 3, but the funniest thing for me is I've been suddenly buying pedals, individual pedals, to be able to do what the Voice Live 3 did in one unit, right? Because you can control everything with that hit switch to have essentially like a switcher pedal, to have different things go on at the same time, and little boosts in volume and things like that. So there's a couple of additions that are going on the pedal board that just turned up, and one is having copied Carl Wachner's beautiful idea to use this little spark boost pedal just when I go to playing a fingerstyle, compared to obviously the volume that comes out when I'm strumming. So yeah, so a few little changes, but other than that, I've been working on all sorts of just interesting little tunes that have I guess amused or challenged me in the background. So not a lot that I've shared, as I say, and that will change soon, diving into a few questions that I got last year, and just leading up to kind of towards Christmas and that sort of time. So it is happening. I'm back on board with editing, and even though I'm not in my own place anymore, I do have beautiful friends that have put me up for the moment, and as I say, given me a space to create and do this. Ask me anything, and film some tutorials and videos, and hopefully a bunch of covers and original songs that I want to share with you as well. So if there's anything on the radar, let me know. Feel free to just say hi. I'd love to hear what's been happening for you all. I know it's sort of an interesting time for musicians all across the globe, and you know, sometimes it works really well, and we kind of have good weeks and bad weeks, I guess, of just as well the internal frustration of maybe not being able to do what we love and like sharing with people, or not in the format we're used to by playing live. So Stephen, hey man, how's it going? I am well, thank you. And if I'm not, I have a stash of M&Ms to make me better. Absolute cure for anything. Yeah, tips for doing a stream gig from home. Yeah, you can learn from all the things I have done wrong over so many shows, and the things that come to mind would genuinely be to do it. Give yourself 20 minutes, half an hour, a day or two before, to plan a set list of some sort. It's what I found goes out the window is when I'm thinking about setting up gear, and I'm setting up mics and checking my levels and doing something a little bit new with a streaming gig, maybe hooking into different technology as well, things that I'm not used to doing. Whereas when I'm performing, sound checking your room, setting up PA gear, it's like that's so familiar because I've done it so often. So yeah, I genuinely forgot the first time. Was like, oh, what are we gonna play? Like, my brain's been just on all the gear side of stuff. So I would do that. But what gear are you running? I'm curious if you've got things set up. The other thing I found useful, if for any of you that are doing a streaming gig, what you can do, two things. If you're using something like OBS, you can actually record within OBS, and then you can stop and listen back and you'll see and hear exactly what everyone else is going to see and hear. So if you're not using that, or if you're using something else, then I recommend just starting a Zoom meeting. So again, Zoom, if you start a Zoom meeting, you can host a meeting just with yourself. It gives you the options again to choose which audio interface, if there's a camera as opposed to maybe the one on the laptop. It gives you all those options to choose through. Yeah, and that way you can check what the output is. VL3 into a Focusrite, then Facebook Live. Cool. I would suggest with Facebook, one thing I found when I went direct to Facebook, the quality, that if you go directly on Facebook rather than using something like OBS, what I found was they tend to crunch the quality of the video and audio, and it came out much, much worse. So even though you can hear everything's working really well on your system, Facebook shrunk down what was happening on their end. So yeah, so that would be my suggestion, is to run into OBS. There's a couple of settings. In fact, Matt shared with me a video from the Audio Journey as a channel on I love it, on YouTube. OBS is a streaming software. So what it means is when you'll load that software, then into that software you'll load up your audio. So you'll put in the Focusrite interface as the audio. You'll put whether it's a webcam or whether it's a camera, you'll put that in there. So and you can preview what's going on. It's literally like the interface looks like old school broadcast software, which is exactly what it is. And so you get to kind of see behind the scenes of what's going in, and then a picture up the top with an audio meter, and everything that's going on is there as well there. So I can send you some settings that I would recommend adjusting for Facebook. And mostly what I found is if I adjust them in OBS, if I limit the amount of data that OBS sends as the video file, then it went really smoothly on Facebook, and the quality is retained much, much better. If I just went straight into Facebook, which I did the first few times. So the flip side of this is, feel free to just dive in, see what happens, because yeah, OBS, you will spend a little bit of time learning a new piece of software. But again, the good thing is, if you want to set it up, you can absolutely check everything in OBS and record from OBS, the software, so that you can get a snapshot. You can see what you're going to get in terms of audio, video, whether that audio and video matches up, or whether there is a delay in the video. And again, OBS has options inside of that to sync them up, to put them together. But otherwise, I would suggest run the VL3 into your Focusrite, do a Facebook Live, and just announce to people, like, do it before next week, and just do a short one. Say, hey, look, I'm probably just going to do a song. I just really wanted to test this and say hi. If you tune in, wonderful. If you don't, that's fine. But I'm a big fan of doing something, even if it doesn't work out the best the first time, because you'll get better and better and better every time you do it, funnily enough. So but yeah, cool that you're jumping into the streaming thing. Is anyone else doing it's time for M&Ms. Is anyone else streaming at the moment? And or have you done that? Have you had some successful streams, and for those of you that are doing it as an income thing as well, then curious how that's going and how people are doing in terms of sharing the likes of PayPal or Venmo, or what's the buy me a coffee? I'm trying to think what that one is as well, but yeah, cool. Rick, how's your Twitch going, man? It's been great connecting with you, and yeah, I'm curious. I haven't been on Twitch myself for ages, so I need to jump on, but I'm following you. Should I actually jump on Twitch? Cool, Stephen. Yeah, let me know, man. Send me a link or a message when you're heading live, and if I'm around, be great to jump on. And actually, Matt and I did that back and forth a couple of times, just testing, like, hey, is the reverb coming through on this? Is it working? Is it not? Sorry, I'm busy eating now. Yeah, connecting with a virtual audience is definitely a different beast. Like even like this, I'm I'm very aware. Like if I stop to eat, that's the audio stops, and you can probably just hear the birds in the background, or me chewing on M&Ms if I'm close enough to the mic. But I think the cool thing with doing a live setting and having a virtual audience is you get to share a bit more of you, and I feel like doing this stuff, I tend to chat more, tend to hang out, have a bit of a laugh than I ever would. No, let's not say ever. It's those people that know me. I remember doing a tour with a friend, David Hazlitt, and at the end of one of the shows in Christchurch, he was like, "You talked more than I've ever ever toured with someone or ever been at a show with that much talking in between songs." And there was like a pause, and I was in my head, right? I was thinking like, I think that's a bad thing. He's like, no, but they loved it. So I was like, oh, okay, cool. Like I'm usually pretty engaged and connected, but I think it is just one of those things you learn to share whatever story or whatever's going on for you, Rick, like, and or something you think's interesting, and then it's like either people connect with it or not, but you from my perspective, it is just like I just feel like I'm chatting to all of you and saying hi, and we're hanging out. And I know you guys do like to chat and connect. You have to write things and type stuff. But from that side of things, yeah, we're just chatting and hanging out, and I don't know. It's kind of like, if you were sitting on a couch or something with a bunch of mates, but there's like somehow there's a wall or a partition, maybe like an office environment where you're hiding from your co-workers. You can still talk to them, but you're like, right, don't distract me too much. But yeah, it's definitely a different beast. Hi, I cannot read your name, but welcome and hello. I don't actually even know if that is Chinese or Taiwanese or Korean or Japanese, perhaps. But hi, thanks for tuning in, and welcome to this Tuesday Ask Me Anything. I interestingly, I had a really good time. I feel like we went down a lot of rabbit holes in the last Ask Me Anything that we did. Being a month between live streams, it's definitely a little bit different. But yeah, if you've just joined, I'm slowly. I got a really nice order from Amazon. A little bit of an experiment. One is the little Spark boost pedal. So this is just when I change. As you can see, it's still nicely sealed in its box. Look at that. I haven't even undone its little wrapper. And these arrived just as I was about to go up to a show. So I really wanted to get into them, but I'm saving them. I'm going to do a little video on them, and obviously putting everything onto one pedal board so that it's all linked up, ready to go for shows. But the other, we'll just open it here because this is cool. This is a little Walrus audio pedal, and yes, super excited to play with this and put this in the mix. It's a fuzz and an envelope filter, and with the amazing slogan, "Walrus or die." So I guess I will walrus now. But yeah, cool little pedal. Excited to play around with it and just play around with a few new tones and things in the setup. But this is what he is. How about that? Sweet little pedal. So fuzz and an envelope filter. Stephen, so it's funny because I know that the one thing the VL3 doesn't have is a fuzz. I mean, I'm sure there's a bunch of others, but that's probably high on the list. That was like, oh, that's interesting. That's not in there. But in terms of what made me ditching the VL3 for standard shows, that's all set up. That's still my backup. I've done a couple of shows on it still since getting the RC300, and since, I should say, really making the RC300 my main looper and setup. But the biggest thing was reliability, and although there's been a lot of good fixes, it's, even things with making a really good connection with the SD card, cleaning out the unit, getting all that stuff sorted, I was still finding that from time to time it would glitch, and I just got to the point where I was like, I can't keep running personally with a unit that, if I'm on for something, is just like ongoingly having some sort of issues. It just became a call of functionality that, at the moment of doing a first dance, if I'm playing a wedding, or at the moment of doing your first show opening the night, and it's like, if that's the point where suddenly it just decides to have a blue screen, I can work around it. I got really, really used to still looping with the blue screen, not being able to see what page or view I was on. But I also just got frustrated with it after a while, and so it's still there. It's still definitely something I will consider running effects and things into with the RC300. So those two being the main powerhouses. But in terms of looping, now that I've gone to the RC300, I'm just finding more and more really cool ways to loop, and having those 3 channels is really, really neat. I'm literally experimenting tonight with remapping some of the controls to on the we're like, I think I need to, like, if I lean forward, it makes me brighter, and who knows what's happening. But yeah, just being able to have 3 different tracks. So I've loved for a long time Rodrigo and Gabriella, and I've been diving back into Tamakun, tuned by them. Also with doing a combination of that with Shimner on the violin, which is cool. And so I wanted to have a groove throughout the whole thing for when I play it solo. And this might morph into something we do together with looping. We haven't sorted out that arrangement yet, but a groove, then a a groove, then second channel is like part A, third channel part B, and then on top of the groove with an undo and a redo is part C. So so it's very, very interesting. Do you think there'll be a VL4? I mean, I honestly don't know. I would love to think there was. I know one of the guys I was chatting to a lot was working on developing a new looping setup for TC Helicon. They got sold. He wound up with them. So I don't know where that's at, or whether that's still on production or whether that got scrapped completely. But yeah, that was looking to be a pretty cool beast in terms of what went into it. So we shall see. I don't know, but yeah, basically building a VL4 as I go. Yeah, that's maybe that'll be it. I will take a picture of my pedal board, all the little switches, controls, things like that, pedals I'm using, and maybe I'll give it a name, you know, and then I'll bundle it all together with all the little patch cables and wiring, and we'll put it available online as a David Shannon's very mix and match hybrid looping setup. So yeah, Matt, in terms of harmonies, just not there. I build some stuff in vocally, so actually singing things live, and that's where harmonies appear for me. But it's really been stripped back, and because I've been doing a lot more with Shimner, then we've got harmonies between us, which is super cool. Obviously, doing the live thing is really, really nice. And then I'm jumping on and stomping on mostly the right pedals at the right time in our duo set. But actually, it was one thing that really got me. We went and did an open mic in Auckland, and cheers, Stephen. Thanks for jumping in, man. Nice to catch up. Yeah, we went and did an open mic, and I thought I'll just take the Voice Live 3, no control pedals that I'm really used to using, and because they do what I want with one hit, right? And yeah, I ended up too much brain power and stopping the wrong loop and being like, oh well, that's just what's happening now. Our breakdown is quite different tonight, but that's the fun sometimes of performing and doing things differently. It still worked. It just wasn't. It wasn't what either of us expected, to be honest. When I stopped the wrong loop, but you know, it's the fun thing. So yeah, the H1, that's quite small. Yeah, thanks, man. I may look. I had the Harmony GXT for a while, and that was great. And I passed it on to my friend. So yeah, so that may go back in the mix, but I'm kind of I'm taking it a little bit slow, to be honest, in terms of seeing what I want to do, because the Voice Live 3 is still there. I may run into it and use that as well, and then start going, right, what do I actually need in this hybrid mix? So yeah, just sneak in there and be like, is that missing? No, surely not. But yeah, I feel like I'm more creative um, with the RC300 having three different loops. I don't know who else feels that or not, but um, it's so I've had two loops with the Voice Live 3 for so long, and that's been great. You learn to work around the limitations of that. But a lot of my arrangements, of course, were just two channels, two loops. And now suddenly I'm like, I put these arrangements together, and then I look at the RC300 and I think, that's cool. I've still got another entire loop that I could create something in. Doesn't have to be the same length. It could be, come in and out, or yeah, it's just been kind of fun having that extra option, I guess. It's thirsty work. So yeah, who's yeah, well, speaking of people that have wildly large and extravagant pedal boards, Matt, that cover all sorts. Yeah, no, it's super fun, man, and like you say, just being able to play around with some different things and do that is pretty cool. Um, but equally, I come back to a lot of stuff, and um, like for a Valentine's Day gig this year, I thought I should learn some version of uh, I just called to say I love you, and I genuinely just put down all in the one thing. Vocal. I'm terrible at beatboxing, so it's kind of bad hi hats with my mouth typically, and then a groove on the guitar using the OC3 to get the bass as well as my guitar. So that's all live. Bass and guitar is live, and I was like, "This is cool. Super simple. It still grooves, and I'm really just playing the tune with a few sneaky little things, like using the OC3 to have both bass and guitar to fill out the sound. But then with a groove that I've created, that obviously I really like the organic sound of a guitar in the mix, and I tend to do that even when you're probably not going to hear the bass on any of this, but even when I use the MPX8 and do all that as well. So mine's a pedal ship. There we go. I see. I will put together a snapshot of all. I'm going to do this now. I'm gonna put links to genuinely the whole board when I put it together. Um, I'll do a proper video on it, and like, this is all of what's in there. So, and I'll come up with a name for it. We'll have a vote. Maybe we'll have a vote like on what it should be called, based on whatever's all on there. And then if you want, you can go and get it. And if you're considering whether to buy a new yacht or Matt's pedal board, well, maybe I can convince you to do the same thing, Matt. I'll be like, if you could just itemize everything that's on there, including patch cables, power supplies, stands to support like the old drum groove and all that sort of stuff. That would be very interesting. But yeah, it's funny, eh? Like then when you turn up, a great friend of mine is super entertaining. Turns up with a guitar, really engaging, great music, cool, has a good night, Um, that's what I used to do. Now I turn up and I'm like, I'm plugging this in and getting that sorted. I'm at the moment wiring control patches and things between two different units or boards essentially, and then and then be like, okay, cool. And you know, we each choose and like and want to do different things. So exactly that. Good opportunity to consider life choices. Do I need this big ship? Absolutely. Yeah, it's super cool, man. No, it's super cool seeing seeing all your stuff come out and that as well. Like crazy work ethic. Kudos. It's very cool. So yeah, I don't know if anyone's got any. If you're hanging out and you've got some questions or anything that's on your mind that you want to ask me, feel free to jump in. Yeah, really. At the moment, I'm going to do these monthly. I may put a few other things up from time to time, but I'm really going to head back into. My plan this year was to head much more into making specific videos, and I've got a list of requests and things that, whether you're on or you're watching this later, that a bunch of you have asked for. So feel free to yell out and connect with me and do that. And yeah, I spent some time as well putting together the basics of a looping course. So there's a bunch of filming and videos that happen in the background that I will provide a framework that you're going to have some videos, you're going to have some stuff to work through, and then I'll be connecting with a few more people, much more personalized than I can do, obviously, like this, because again, you guys are stuck typing. Even if you had gear out and set up and we're playing through things, I can't hear you and we can't workshop stuff. So that's something that's been on the radar for quite a while, and now it's a case of me sitting down and editing those videos, putting it all together, and seeing what works, and doing basically a pilot program with a bunch of people to run it and give you some tools, bunch of songs and things like that as well. So that's kind of, I guess, there's a lot been happening in the background. It doesn't look like anything on the YouTube channel at the moment. Just a few little uploads of some live performances that we've done, and hopefully there should be a few more of those as well, which would be really cool. But yeah, it's nice to jump back on and say hi. So yeah, thanks for jumping in the chat, Matt. I don't know if you're still up from editing the night before, or if you you're starting the day at maybe 4 a.m. now. Who knows? But yeah, nice to say hey. Hey, Biggie. I am the guy that plays guitar. That is correct. Yes. Welcome. Hi. I feel like maybe I should be like sitting here, right, with a guitar, so that it really start today due to a snoring. I would guess who that is, but you know, I don't want to get myself in trouble here, huh? Either way, I've already gotten myself in trouble now. That's awesome. I'm stoked. Real cool, Biggie. I'm real glad you've been able to use a few versions and create some tunes. Have some fun with it yourself. It's cool. So yeah, if anyone's got any questions, I'm gonna, I don't know, sit here and practice. I've been practicing banjo riffs on the guitar, which I'm not the greatest, especially speed-wise picking. It's not been my strength, and so I've been sitting. I don't know if anyone knows. Completely forgotten what they're called. It'll come back to me. Far out. The East Pointers. There you go. Hey, Paula. Love it. That's it. John Mayer. This guitar got new strings today, which is very nice. Oh, hey, Blake. Nice. Oh, cool, man. I am glad. Have fun playing with it. It's a really cool. It's again what's running tonight. It's a really cool unit. Super grateful, especially in these times of doing all these streaming things. What should we do? Let's see what my memory is on some random tunes. Hey, I'm kind of I'm like squashed myself in on this pedalboard at the moment. This is so I played around with this for a while, and I don't know where it turned out. It's just a nice, simple overall groove. Send me your location, let's focus on communicating, 'cause I just need the time and place to come through. Well, send me your location, let's ride the vibrations of I don't need nothing else but you. Sometimes I wonder why I fool with you. This is new to me, this is new to you. Initially, I didn't want to fall for you. Gather my attention, it was all for you. So don't take advantage, don't leave my heart damaged. To understand that things go a little bit better when you plan it. And won't you send me your location, let's focus on communicating, 'cause I just need the time and place to come through. Well, send me your location, let's ride the vibrations of I don't need nothing else but you. Does this count as John Mayer? We could do like a John Mayer version of this, Paula. I don't wanna fall in love off a subtweet, so let's get personal. I got a lot of cool spots that we can go. Tell me what's the move and I got you. I'm only acting like this 'cause I like you, so just give me the vibe to slide in. I might make you mine for the night. And won't you send me your location, let's focus on communicating, 'cause I just need time and place to come through. Your location, let's ride the vibrations of I don't need nothing else but you. Right. Come and vibe with me tonight. I don't need nothing else but you. Right. Come and vibe with me tonight. I don't need nothing else but you. This is literally like, I put this together because I like the groove of it and little chord changes in it. But I just really like, I genuinely like playing this and then noodling around in E major. Wait. Anyway, thanks for tuning in. If you've jumped on tonight, I'll give you, honestly, if you've just joined, I do these Tuesdays as an Ask Me Anything session. So if there's something you want to pick my brains on, we will dive into it. I know it takes a little bit of time because you guys have to type and I can just speak. It's cheating. But if there is something on your mind, feel free to just write it in the chat. And while you do that, if you're doing that, I will eat some M&Ms and otherwise say thanks so much for tuning in and hanging out. It's been nice to jump on and do like a little live session again. It's been good, and eat some M&Ms is my excuse to go, buy some. Well, hey Matt and Matt. Cheers, brother. You too, man. Have an amazing day. And say hello to that beautiful snoring woman of yours. Yeah, enjoying the PRS, man. Yep. Hey, Louisa. Thanks so much for tuning in. Nice to see you virtually and connect. And yeah, I will jump on next month. But in the meantime, there'll be a bunch more videos actually coming up on the channel, which I will genuinely go back to editing. I'll go back to editing after this. So have an amazing evening, morning, afternoon, wherever you are. And I'll catch you all again soon. Cheers, everybody.